Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied. Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
The disease. And I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Give Me Back My Action Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Anna, and tonight we are continuing our journey through Anna April with the first action pick, 2001's Lara Croft Tomb Raider. But before we get into it, let's meet the other hosts here. With me, as always, it's Charlie. Welcome to the show, Charlie.
It's Chase. Charlie Chase. Oh, wait, not
I like
007. This is way before 007. Yes,
I like it.
I'm here.
This is before
Welcome
007.
back. And also on this journey with us is Pete. Welcome, Pete.
Oi! Hey, I got my beer.
He's
I
primed.
got my popcorn, and I'm ready.
Ready to
I love
go.
this movie.
This is quite the popcorn flick, if you will. I
Popcorn!
see what you did there.
Nom nom nom.
I'm glad you saw what he was doing there.
And we have a very special guest tonight. We've been friends with this chap on social media and in the Discords and chats for quite a while now. He's been a fan of ours, a listener for a while. Please welcome from the Geeks with Beards podcast, Daniel Collins. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hello.
Yay!
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we're so excited to have you here. It's been in the back of my mind for a while because I got to gush for a minute. Like, Daniel's a real one. Even back when I was still doing Cinema Slab, you were listening to that and you would
Yep.
comment on all of our episodes, our social media. And then I brought you up to the guys. I was like, and then we became friends on Facebook and stuff like that. And I was like, man, this guy, Daniel, he's like really into our stuff. Like, I can tell he's not just like, you listen, you know, some
I
people
do, yeah.
come in there and comment on a clip and you can tell they didn't really listen to the episode. But and then Charlie, and then we're like, oh yeah, I know him. And Nate was like, wait, who's Daniel? And then I said your Instagram name, Big Optimus 33, and he's like, oh, I know him. And like, put, you know, so, you know, you've been around and like kind of in our podcast circle for a while now. So when the fellas gave me the month, I was like, I want to find a movie to get Daniel on for. And we invited Sean as well. Sadly, he couldn't join, but
Yeah,
we're
you
glad.
couldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're glad you're here with us tonight and can have some fun with Tomb Raider.
Just to
thank you.
piggyback on Anna, like Daniel just kind of slides into things, and I don't say I get off, but I really it makes me very, very happy when someone chimes in. And we've got a couple of fellas that chime in fairly frequently. And Daniel just jumped in and is like, dude, we just can't get rid of him. It's wonderful.
In the best way, though.
In the best of ways.
Like
Yeah.
you jumped in and we were like,
No. That's not what I meant. That's not what I
There's
meant.
plenty
No, I
of
know.
room. We were like,
This
oh,
is a
we
super
like this
compliment.
guy. Let's bring him in.
Like a genuine super fan. I'm like, who is this guy? I love this.
Yeah,
And
'cause I discovered you guys like, I don't know, a year or so back, I guess it was. And I just started going through the back catalog of episodes. I even went back to like season 1, Charlie, when it was just
Ugh.
yeah. Well, not that bad. They're not that
Ugh.
bad, man.
Wow. I love when stuff
Uh,
like that happens. Though you find
yeah.
a podcast, you get into them,
Yeah.
it inspires you to do creative
Mhm.
stuff. I dig it.
Yeah, but you started listening with you guys, and then it went on to listening to you talk about the other ones. So it went to like Dissect and all the other ones like that. So I
Yeah.
kind of feel I've got like a family of podcasts that I listen to now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We all do.
It's just proof that all the ads work sometimes. Sometimes people
For
actually
sure.
do seek out
Absolutely.
our friends or seek us out.
Yeah.
I am a little upset though, because Anna started us out with a British accent and Daniel jumped on. I was really hoping Daniel was going to keep it the whole show. And then when someone goes to his show, they're like, where's the British guy? I really like the British guy.
I'm not
Where's
that
he at on
talented.
this?
Confuse them.
That would have
Short
been epic.
periods of time, I'm very good, but
That's what Jody says too.
I might not have the
Anyway,
stamina. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Oh, if only you had heard what we were talking about off mic.
Oh, I think it's time to play a trailer. Can we play a trailer?
Yes,
Have we
please,
told them
Charlie.
what we're doing?
Yes,
We
I
even said it?
introduced it rather well with my British accent. We are doing 2001's Tomb
Oi.
Raider, not the remake, the O fucking G. Charlie, hit that trailer.
We are running out of time. And if we fail, we must wait another 5,000 years.
Well, I don't know about you, but that's more time than I'm prepared to commit to this enterprise.
This summer, the planets will align. It was the Illuminati who swore to bring their ancestors back to life. Time will stand still.
Have you ever heard of the Clock of Ages?
It gives its possessor power of the light.
And the fate of mankind. Eternal hell revives! Will rest in the hands of one.
Don't start.
You're quite an authority on things ancient and mythological.
That's why I travel. It's an ancient clock. It was hidden in a secret room. It glows, but it's getting brighter, like it's counting down to something.
You can build, destroy, move back and forth through time.
The future is yours now, Lara. We're the only one with the strength to destroy the power of the light.
We can be partners.
You might try to kill me.
I'm not going to kill you.
I said you'd try.
Time to save the universe again, then, is it?
Absolutely.
On June 15th, the biggest adventure of the summer begins. Angelina Jolie is Lara Croft.
This is where I start to have fun.
Tomb Raider.
So
Good trailer. A good
It's
one.
pretty good
But-
trailer.
that
except-
was like summer blockbuster trailer from head to
Yeah.
toe.
Oh, sure.
So good.
Did he say Angelina Jolie?
Et je oui, je mange.
Did he try to spin French? on that thing? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah,
It
that
was a
sounded
little
an
like accented.
interesting.
Angelina Jolie. Yeah, it was a
He's
little-
trying to zhuzh it up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Zhuzh.
fancy it up. Yeah. Yeah. So when I was going through my action picks and trying to decide what to pick, this one kind of came up because I was born in 89. So like early 2000s was really like the
Mhm.
movies I remember the most or kind of tend to be the most memorable. And this came out in 2001. It was a big event for the fam. I actually have two histories with this because my being scared of water actually stems from Tomb Raider, and I'll tell that story
Really?
momentarily. But let's get into Charlie's history. Charlie, did you get to see this in theaters, or was this one?
No, I did. I saw this in theaters. Pretty sure me and Jackie went and saw this.
Nice.
Because I was a fan of Tomb Raider. I played it since PlayStation. When we would sneak our PlayStation into trade school, and when we got done with our schoolwork, our teacher would let us hook it up to the TV,
Man, those
and
were
we
the
played
days.
Tomb Raider, and then we played Resident Evil. Those were the two games we worked on trying to beat during school. So yeah, and then I was a huge fan of Angelina Jolie. At that time she could do no wrong. Watched just about any movie she was in, and so yeah, even Jackie, when we watched it the other night, she goes, we watched this, right? Like, I'm like, yeah, we went to the theater. She goes, I don't think I've watched this since we've been in Virginia. Like, she was like, last time I think I seen this was in Ohio. I'm like,
Wow.
Fair, probably been that long.
Good
Probably
memory.
been about 5 years for me since I've seen it last. But no, I own it. I had the steel book. I have the old DVD to it.
Nice.
I don't own Cradle of Life. I'm not gonna. So it ends here. I also have the new one, and I haven't watched it yet. So
I haven't watched
there's
it either.
that.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
seen the new one. No.
Mm-mm.
I bought
Daniel,
it.
Oh.
Daniel, what about you? What's your history with this?
I did not see this in theaters. It's probably when I watched it for the show, I've probably been 12 years probably since I'd seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd watched it on TV, probably TNT or TBS. So this
Yeah.
time I watched it on Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, there was some stuff not on the television version of what I've seen on here a little
I
bit.
bet you're
For
right.
sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that
I enjoyed
shower
it.
scene. Womp womp.
Yeah, there's some things I remember, and we'll get into it, like the ending and stuff. I was like, I remember those scenes. But a lot
Right.
of things I completely forgot. I even forgot some of the actors that were in the movie. I'm like, oh shit, he's in here. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So yeah,
Like Daniel Craig, for instance. This was before
Exactly, yeah.
he
We got
became
two
Bond.
Bond fellas in this movie. We got
Mhm.
two of them.
Yeah. Pete, what about you? Did you see this in theaters?
Jody and I saw this in the theaters when it came out.
Nice.
I was a big fan of Tomb Raider from the get-go in 1994. I bought this for the PlayStation. I missed it on PC, but I'm not sure my Aptiva Pentium 133 would have played it anyway. But the PlayStation 1 played it, and I was terrible at it. It's a jumping, climbing puzzle game, and I'm dumb as a bag of rocks. I couldn't figure it out. I watched friends play it, and they would jump like all over the place and run across the ceiling and all
Mhm.
sorts of wonderful shit. And I'm like,
Swing and yeah.
And then when the dinosaur would come up, that was the big.
Yeah, you had to shoot it, man. That one was
Yeah,
hard too.
that was the big thing. So yeah, Jody was a big fan of it also because she was in high school when this came out on PlayStation, and she just loved that there was finally a female protagonist. Excuse me, who was the lead in a video game.
Right.
So that drew her in, and she wasn't a damsel in distress. She was Indiana Jones. She was this larger than life character. So when we sat down last night to watch it, I had to remind her, okay, remind me all of the places that make video game references, because throughout the film,
There's a
there are
ton.
little musical cues and little homages to the games. And she
Mhm.
was just like, okay, that means this, and that sound means she found something, and that means there's a bad guy near or something like that. So she
Uh-huh.
went through the whole movie.
Hell
and
yeah, Jody. I love it.
Oh, she's great. And she just loves this movie. I have loved this movie forever. We had the VHS. I haven't bought a copy of a DVD yet, whether it's
Oh, I
Blu-ray,
need
4K.
to. I know. I was thinking that.
Yeah. I do have Cradle of Life, which isn't terrible.
Ah.
It's it's fine. And I did get the 2018 from the library, and it's not bad. It's not as much fun.
Okay. More
as-
serious.
It's a little more serious. It's kind of I don't want to say it's a prequel, but she's much younger at this point in that film. She's a much younger person,
Okay.
but she still has all the money in the world. But yeah, it takes itself a little too seriously. It could have hammed it out, because this movie knows exactly what it is. It is a video game movie, and it leans into the ridiculousness of it. And I thoroughly enjoy it. It's so much fun. It's not as good as Indiana Jones. It's way better than King Solomon's Mines. So it's like on that national treasure level where
Yeah, for
it's-
sure.
is it
I
a great
love National
movie?
Treasure.
No. Is it a popcorn movie? Yeah, damn right it is. So yeah, get the popcorn and the beer out and get the family together, because outside of one scene in this movie, it is totally a kid film.
Yeah, it's PG-13, some language here
it
and there,
is.
but
It
there's like
is.
no sexy time.
I'm pretty sure it is the most perfect PG-13, because it does skirt that. It is definitely not R, but it's also a little more mature than a regular PG movie.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
There
the
you
camera
go.
loves her. There's some
Oh, yeah.
shots there. The
Yeah.
cameramen knew what they were doing. So.
Mhm.
I got one negative opinion about that later on. So Anna,
Okay.
what is your history with Tomb Raider?
Well, that's kind of a good lead in, because when this came out, I was 11 and I saw this in theaters. I've mentioned before, when we went to the theaters when I was a kid, everybody went, me, mom, and dad. So it had to be something we all wanted to see. And this was one because I grew up playing Nintendo and then moving along into the PlayStation as I got older. And Tomb Raider 3 was probably the game I played the most growing
Really?
up. Yes, I loved that game. It was so
What
much
year?
fun. And just the
What year was that?
adventure. I think the game came out in like
99?
98 or 99, something
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
So I would have
All
been
right, that makes
10
sense.
ish, 8, 9, something like that. Um, but so this memory is seared in my brain, and it's where like I get scared of water and stuff, but like even in video games, nope, I don't want to get in the water. That shit scares me because of Tomb Raider 3. And there's an area in Tomb Raider 3 where you have to get underwater and swim, through the little caves. And back then that stuff didn't bother me, but it's because of this moment that gave me like it scarred me. But I was young, I was on the phone, like on the cordless phone, talking to my best friend, just playing video games. And like how sometimes when you're playing a game, the camera will cut, like if it zooms up too close. Well, it did that kind of thing and flipped, and there was a fucking alligator right up on the screen. When I tell y'all I screamed, I threw the phone and the controller, I threw everything. Like that moment scarred me. And I still hate,
Love it.
like if it's a game that I know Marley can play, I'm like, Marley, do this for me in the water. Like I've kind of given her a complex about it too. She's like, why are you scared? And I'm like, I just don't worry about it, just do it. But for me, it was like this was the first time I didn't know who Angelina Jolie was. I hadn't seen Gone in 60 Seconds, anything she had done prior to this. This is kind of what made her a star in a lot of ways. And for me, kind of like with Jodie, it was like I was seeing this badass girl up on screen kicking ass. And she's also like very beautiful, even though she was very much sexualized in the games, just like she was in the movies because of Angelina's hotness, obviously. But like she didn't wear a stitch of makeup, I think, in the whole movie.
She didn't wear any makeup. I mean, she's
Right.
in the
Like
movie. She's wearing makeup.
she has
But
movie
Yeah, this
makeup
natural
on.
look.
Jodie even
Right.
says something about that. Like, she looks great without any makeup. I'm like, well, she's wearing makeup, but you're right. She's not wearing eyeshadow or
Mascara,
lipstick
lip
or
stuff like
mascara.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
She
like
looks
a movie foundation
stunning.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, and I think, I haven't seen all the Indiana Jones movies. And I think it's because like
I mean, there's three of them. It's
this
pretty
was
Yes,
easy.
there's 3 of them. That's
There's only three.
yeah, well, I've
Three.
seen I just saw the first one last year for the first time.
That's
The
right. You did.
River Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That was a big thing.
But I
Yeah.
think like this was my Indiana Jones growing up.
Mhm.
Like this was my adventure kind of movie. Even it was like up there with Jurassic Park and stuff like that. Just the action and adventure of it with this kick-ass girl like in the lead was just everything for an 11-year-old, and just like Jodie, I was very familiar with the games at the time this came out. So like all the little cues, like when the butler, like when she starts banging the clock and Hillary holds the thing up, like the butler would do that in the game. If you started shooting at him, obviously you could never kill him, but you could fire your gun at him and he would do this in the game. So there's like little subtle things like that even though is it like a prestige movie that everybody's gonna love? No. Or no, but is it a popcorn movie? Yes, but it's still fun. And they took the time to really study the games and put a lot of those little Easter eggs in there that would appeal to people who played the game. But it also appealed to people just going to watch a summer blockbuster. This came out in June, prime time for a movie like this. So
Yeah, see, I never played the games.
Hmm.
I'm just going into it. Just I know the character, but
Mhm.
I just went into it just as a fan of just her because I'd seen a lot
Mhm.
of her movies and things.
Right.
So yeah, I've never played any of the games. Period, like it. But I'm interested. I might go back and try to play some of them now, maybe after
They're fun.
rewatching the movie.
They're fun. They're tough, but they're fun.
And
They're
they've
I've
remastered them
fun.
too over the years, so they're a
Yes,
little bit
yeah.
better quality. And
Everything's
even
updated. Her Laura Croft's boobs are no longer pyramids. They're
yeah, they're
they have
more
some curves to them.
Charlie
Yeah.
was the pyramid boobs.
Did
Now,
anybody
I
see? There
wonder.
was somebody online that had like his girlfriend came out and she had big boobs and their Laura Croft shorts on and guns, and the boyfriend's like, nah, and then she comes out with like boxes,
cardboard.
cardboard
Yeah.
pyramids over her boobs.
Oh my,
and he's
that's
like,
gold.
yeah,
That's gold. That's great. Yeah.
It cracked me up. Anyway,
Well, that's the whole shower scene. Was when you played the game, there was always the rumor of the naked code, where you could
Up,
punch
down,
in the
left to right.
code,
right trigger, left trigger.
something like that. But it turned out it was just like a tan, like outfit. She was not actually naked. So the shower scene in this is every boy that played this game was like, yeah, that's what we pictured. That's it.
And the studio actually wanted it to be even more foul,
Mhm.
like even more raunchy. Like I think it was supposed to be a sex scene with her and Alex, or Daniel Craig's character, that it just like it wasn't needed. You know,
It wasn't. That was a perfect amount right there.
Yeah.
That's all it needed to be. I mean, like you said, it's PG-13. It's an adventure movie. You're trying to get, 12, 13-year-olds to go watch this.
That was my problem with the shower scene, is that you're really aiming at that young adolescent, that 10 to 15-year-old. I just didn't think you needed the shower scene at all.
That had Daniel Craig shower scene.
That show,
yeah,
good point.
I was
opportunity.
down for
Yeah.
that.
It's true.
That was, goodness gracious, Daniel Craig.
Hello. That's pre James
no-
Bond body too.
I'm like, now I know why I like him as James Bond.
Right. There you go. It all makes sense. This is why he was cast.
That shower scene was for the 30 and 40-year-old weirdos who bought that game because it was a hot gal,
Mhm.
and they were hoping to get the code to take her top off.
Yeah.
And that's what those scenes were. So that's the problem I had. Even the side boob, I love me
You
my
had
boobs,
problem
but
with boob?
not in this movie.
I was told it had to be in this movie. That's
Nope,
just
didn't
no,
care
it
for
had to be.
I didn't even know it was in this movie because, like I said, I only
Had to
watched it
be.
on television.
Right,
So
right.
From
I mentioned
playing
Anna,
the
and I'm like,
games-
side boob.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, boobs for days. Side boobs for
From
days.
playing video games as a teenager in the 90s and in my 20s and 2000s, it's TNA, Pete. TNA sells.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I
so
know.
they actually padded Angelina Jolie
Yeah.
out for this one, and even still, she wasn't as large as what the video game is depicted as, because she'd be fucking top heavy the entire thing,
And it would
falling
be
off
just
of things.
unrealistic. She was
It'd be gratuitous,
the video game character was a 36 double D. I believe Angelina was like a 36 or a 38C. They padded her to like a size up to a D, but that's about as far as
Yeah.
they could go.
And it was fine. She did the shorts. She wore the outfit. They play the joke about the dress at the end.
Yeah.
It all works. But and this one, to get people like me in on this, that loved action movies, and you're watching a lot of these, like Matrix has already came out. This movie opens with a robot, like demo fight that you don't realize is a demo fight. The very first time you watch this, you're like, "What the hell? This is Tomb Raider. The hell am I watching here?
Gets your
This is a robot
attention.
trying to kill." It does.
It does.
Also, that's kind of like the first time you realize she has fuck you money. She has built a tomb in her basement, life size. That's
It's
just
the danger-
downstairs.
it's the danger room,
It's
right?
totally the X-Men danger room, dude. Totally is.
Daniel
Her,
knows
her
that's
mansion
the
will make Bruce Wayne jealous.
Oh yeah, for sure. It competes.
She's got more fuck you money than Wayne does. I mean,
Yeah.
Bruce calls her for a loan when things get a little tight.
It's like,
I
hey
need a new
Laura.
suit.
I'm opening up a business. Do you got a little extra cash that I could have?
Yeah, you want to go into this with me? Let's do some
Right.
business together. And I love, she also has like her little like nerdy friend who builds and fixes everything for her. Bryce.
She's got to have
who-
her team. I mean,
Yeah, I love that.
I
And-
love it. I love it. Yeah.
And it wasn't until I went back and watched this recently that I realized who that was. His name's Noah Taylor, I believe. He pops up in everything. But most recently I've been watching Peaky Blinders for the first time through.
Oh.
And he plays one of the fucking like worst bad guys in the show. Like a
kidding.
total prick, will kill you without even questioning if you cross him. And I was like, oh my God. And then, Dad's seen it too and remembers it, but he didn't put that connection together either till I told him. He was like, no way, you're right. I'm like, I know, it's crazy.
See, I recognized Hillary from Red Dwarf.
Oh, really? I've never
Yeah,
seen
he-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played Rimmer from Red Dwarf. I'm like, wait,
Oh,
he looks familiar, and I looked him up. I'm like, yeah, that's Rimmer from Red Dwarf. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
That's deep cut,
Well,
folks.
Manfred was in Game of Thrones. He was
Yeah, and
like,
Resident Evil. He was Isaac's, I think, in Resident Evil.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil
He
is
was-
what I remember him from. Yeah,
He was one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones too, Jorah Mormont.
Yeah.
Jorah. That's what his
He,
name
oh
is. Yep.
god, I loved his character in Game of Thrones.
He was rocking a little bit of a fake looking tan in this movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just my TV. I don't know. But
No, he looked a little. He looked a little tan. He's been raiding tombs and joy. What
In the
globetrotting?
desert.
That's where I'm looking.
Yeah.
For.
right.
Yeah,
Sitting on a couch outside of a tomb, waiting for everyone else to do the work. I'm like, that right there tells you who the bad guy is.
That's
That's
fuck
a
you
tool.
money
Yeah,
right
he's a
there.
tool.
I mean, there's a lot of fuck you money there. His assistant was in Die Another Day with Pierce Brosnan, the James Bond movie.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
He
I didn't know
was
that.
one of or the bad guy in it. I didn't have time to go back and look. And then of course we got Daniel Craig, which is why I said there were two Bond fellas in this. And Jody
Mm-hmm.
actually pointed that out to me. She's like, the guy with the long hair, I think, was in James Bond. I'm like, no, he wasn't.
Mr. Prim, whatever his name was.
Matter
In
of
there.
fact, he was.
Yeah, and he said like the soda, and I was like, no, it ain't.
Right. You know, like the cocktail.
Mr. Pym. Yeah, Pym.
Pim,
Mr.
Pim's cup, right?
Yeah.
London whiskey, soda, and cucumber is what.
Oh, is that what that
is?
is?
Mhm.
Oh, I thought he was like referencing Mr. Pibb or something like that, and just changing the letter.
Pim's cup is the nerd talk here. Pim's cup is the,
Actually, it stands for this.
actually, well, man, let me mansplain this to you.
Yes, please do.
So there were to piggyback on Angelina's outfit. Jody dressed up as the Tomb Raider one Halloween, and she killed it. Now Jody isn't as top heavy as Angelina Jolie is, so she delightfully
was expertly tactful there.
Yes,
well,
it was. That was tasteful.
and there is, I like them all, big and little, and anyway.
You do not discriminate against boobs.
I do. Boobs are something you do not discriminate against, and I will fight you if you discriminate against boobs. But she decided to find a couple of balloons and just got this tank top and stuffed these things in her shirt. I had no idea she was doing this, and I came home from work to join the party, and there she is with a couple of squirt guns and short shorts and these gigantic balloon jugs, and I about laughed my pants off. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing.
Funnily
Every time-
enough, his pants did actually.
Every
finally
time, well,
fall
that
off.
was later on.
Bow chicka wow wow. He's like, hey, leave the outfit on.
And we'll work around it. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Bring the guns to bed, baby.
That's why they call you the Panty Raider, like your name says.
Oh.
So, Pete, you were kind of making fun of the CGI the other night.
It's bad.
That is one thing where it's like, ee.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, it was a blockbuster, right? Does anybody know if it had a budget? I have no idea.
I'm sure
I
it
think it was
did.
like 150 million or something like that.
Okay,
I'm on
okay.
IMDb right now. Let's
So,
see.
Something like that.
like I know.
115 million. Daniel was right. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, good. Yes. So Jurassic Park is was it 96, 94?
94.
Mm-hmm.
So that sets the bar, and then whatever money you have is left over for you, I suppose. And golly, like there were parts in this that were like cringy bad. What was it when the second half of the triangle popped up out of the earth?
Liquid stuff was the worst. Like
not good.
the liquid underneath the triangle holding it
Yeah.
up, the liquid in that one tomb when it's first
Yeah.
coming up. But
The
as far
abyss-
as like the stone people, I mean, it
Oh, they were
wasn't
fine.
the best, but
They
I
were fine.
didn't hate it, you know.
Their coloring was a little off from their surroundings, which is always a sign of the times. Like they just didn't get that coloring right. And I was watching it
It's
on Blu-ray.
2001.
Let me finish. All
I
right?
want to finish.
At the time, that coloring was hard. And I'm watching it on Blu-ray. If you watch it on VHS, I bet it's fine.
Bet it's fine. Yeah.
I bet it's just fine. And at the
I had
time, I
zero issue
agree.
with
I
this.
always give movies a break, Charlie. You know this.
I mean, the robot at the
but-
beginning is a little CGI, but it's also practical. Like
There's
they
a lot of practical, which
built a
I
robot
thought was
to
great.
interact with. I mean,
Like,
That
those-
robot was amazing.
Yeah, it looked good. Like I
did.
said, it
Yeah.
caught your attention right off the bat. And
I-
you see her just kicking ass, and it's like,
I
damn.
love it that she drags this robot that probably weighs 1,000 pounds.
Just like
back into the
nothing.
Repair shop. She's just dragging him. Like,
Simon, what'd you do to him?
oh,
Yeah.
Was he programmed to stop
Right.
trying to kill me? And he's like,
No,
he
he
wanted it
Eh.
harder.
You said you wanted a challenge.
That's definitely like an in joke to the hard mode on a lot of video
Yes.
games. It's like, God
Easy,
damn it, I died
medium.
again. You know,
Mm-hmm. Very true.
no tutorial on this one. But no, I like the actual sets. I mean,
Oh, for
the
sure.
the main reason Angelina took even this role, even though yes, she surprisingly looks like the character from the video games.
Mhm.
It's almost
is-
as if Tomb Raider took her as a model.
Inspiration,
Yeah,
yeah,
in
literally.
94.
Could very well be that, but
Yeah.
she mainly took this because she saw all the places she gets to go,
Yeah.
like all of the
She went all over the world.
locations. The Cambodia one was the big one, and hell, that's where she adopted her first kid.
Exactly. Yeah, Maddox.
Yeah, so I mean, this was kind of life changing for her too. I mean, she's done a lot of movies. You know,
Mhm.
I've known her since she started, and that was like Cyborg 2, you know, which
That was
had
like her
nothing to
first
do with
movie.
Cyborg 1.
Cyborg 2.
Two. Yeah.
I think she done a movie with her dad, like in the '80s, didn't she? When she was a kid.
I think it was.
Did she?
I'm
Maybe.
trying to remember if
Probably.
that was around or before. I know she did like some music videos and some other stuff, but like her first like big role
Okay.
was Cyborg 2. That's like like the big. Like she probably got paid good
Okay.
for it,
Right.
or kind of good. It was still technically canon. I
And then
think
she was
at
in
that time.
Hackers not too long after that.
And I love her to death in Hackers. That was like my
Forgot about
next
that.
reintroduction to her was seeing her again in Hackers, and then like you said, Gone in 60 Seconds. That was the very next like, yep, I know her, I remember her, and it was just like then it was like Angelina Jolie was like in a movie every year, whether I saw it or not. She did.
She was bang. She got
She,
banged at that point.
Yeah, a lot of movies like that. Tomb Raider was like the blockbuster, but
Mhm.
she was an actress and she had some acting chops leading up
Yeah.
to this.
And did Mr. and Mrs. Smith like 2005, I guess it was, a few
That
years later.
movie is so much stupid fun.
Yeah,
I
it is.
love that movie. I have no. It
I love
shouldn't
that
be
movie.
as good as it is,
Yeah.
but
It's
it actually
fun.
is good.
It is.
It's fun, yeah. But yeah, even like I said, this was my first time ever seeing her. And even now as an adult, when anyone mentions Angelina Jolie, that if you ask me the first movie that comes to my head, it's gonna be Tomb Raider forever. Because that was
Mhm.
how I was introduced to her, and that part of this movie and her being in it's part of the nostalgia I have for it.
When she was announced, I knew of her, and I knew of course, clearly what she looked like, and I went, "That's perfect casting."
Yeah.
Like she has the look,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
got the body, and I know she trained really hard for a long time to get as fit as she was in the film.
Mhm.
But I remember when Michael Keaton was announced as Batman, everybody in the world went, "Huh?"
What the fuck?
But
Yeah.
you couldn't have hit a bigger grand slam home run with Angelina being cast as
Mhm.
as the Tomb Raider.
To me, this Angelina is like peak Angelina.
For
That's
sure.
it's like she had that mysteriousness, that very thin, kind of gaunt look to her early on, and then she hit this. It was almost like her movie puberty. Like everything was like in the right place. and-
Blossomed.
A lot of
Yeah.
fellas blossomed into puberty for this.
And then she did really good, and now you look here and you're like, you look like you did like when you were 16 again. All of a sudden, like skin and bones, and it's like eat a
Mhm.
sandwich, eat a damn sandwich, woman. But no, I have zero problem with her. But we're talking a lot about Angelina Jolie. I want to talk about this movie, and then Pete doesn't like the CG, Ann absolutely loves this.
Look, it's
Da-
just
Stop it!
dated.
Stop
It's
it!
dated.
Even on Paramount Plus, the CG actually didn't look that bad. Really?
I had no problem with it. I had a
Yeah.
Blu-ray. It looked fine. Pete's just being, hey,
It's not good, but it doesn't deter
It's
That water
me.
did look
noticeable.
bad.
It's noticeable.
Noticeable.
It is.
It was liquid metal, not water.
Oh, sorry,
Okay,
liquid
there.
metal.
That's
I
fair.
fixed it.
T2 looked so much. The Abyss looked better than this, and The Abyss happened before T2.
The Abyss was in the 80s.
I know, and this was in 2000, and it was the Abyss looked better than this.
They had James Cameron fuck you money. Of course they looked
Very
better.
true.
It was
Yeah.
20 years, or not 20 years.
James Cameron gets whatever he wants.
Yeah, when you're talking 2001 to the 80s, you're only talking like 10 or 11 years ago,
Yeah.
but it was a lot more money. Anyway, the one thing that I had the hardest thing getting over is these adventure movie tropes that once every 5,000 years the planets will align. We need all of these things to get them together. Yet when she has exactly 7 days, Dad set it up for the clock to start ticking. Why not a month earlier? Why not give her time to find this shit, to get ahead of everyone?
She likes a
You know,
challenge.
There you go.
It's still a challenge a month early. Like, why does it always have to be right before the clock stops?
Yeah.
Right to the last second. And also, like, she ends up having to help them because they get the clock from her. They didn't get the other half of the triangle. Why give them the other half? You won at that point. She went back. Don't.
So
You have stopped apocalypse. Go home.
it's like she tells Pal, he's like, why would I give this to you? So I can steal it from you later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
line.
I can
I
steal it
love
from
that
you
line.
later.
That was
Yeah.
that was the moment where I'm
But
just like, yeah,
Charlie,
that's
you don't have a movie if you don't.
I know that was exactly where I was going. That line was because if I don't steal it from you later, we don't have a
you don't
movie.
have a movie, right?
Did Jody catch the in on, because she was telling you all the tropes from the video game, and there's a big one in here that every time she picks something up, she says something, but every time she picks something up and puts it in her backpack, she always moves her hand under the backpack because that's what you would do in the game.
Mhm.
And it was like an infinite amount of shit
it was-
you could put
yeah.
in the backpack.
It's a bag of holding. Is if you're in D&D, it's a bag of holding. So it just,
But
you can
it didn't
fit
matter
anything in there.
how big that thing was. She tucked that
Yeah.
backpack was tiny, and all of a sudden, chic, it's gone. And it, like,
I
does that
love
fit
that.
behind all of the clips of ammo that come out of the bag later to show the reload and all?
And she's got that hack too, the unlimited ammo hack. One of the
unlimited
best.
ammo. I mean, it's just gonna
Her
happen.
use of guns were great. I wonder what kind of training she went through before.
I think it was
She
like 6
trained
months
with-
of training.
About 6
She
months.
she trained with SAS, the English
Oh.
special service.
Okay.
So she trained with them, which I think is where they got the picture of her with all of the guys where
I
they're like,
love that moment.
I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
tell you who I know to get the airplane, and there's that photo.
A picture of
Oh,
all the.
yeah.
And I'm sitting there
Yeah.
going, like, knowing that she trained with them, like, y'all took that picture. Y'all, she's in the tack gear, and that's why all those British guys look grumpy as fuck. And
Yeah.
she's smiling.
Is it legit?
I love that moment though, because she calls the boys in and they're just grabbing their helicopter to drop her and her Jeep in the Amazon or wherever they're at, and
Oh, yeah, casually, sunglasses on, riding in the Land Rover.
top down, flying around in the Land Rover.
Yeah, but ladies, this is video game knowledge logic. Just,
Oh, it totally is.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love
It's
every
called,
bit
of
it.
course. Do you know that her driving through the jungle was the part she hated the most because they had all of the windows that they're like literally driving in the jungle.
Sure.
Well, they had to do it with the windows down, and snakes and spiders and shit kept falling in
Are
the
you
vehicle.
kidding me?
No
Nope,
way.
I'm walking away. Nope.
And she
No,
had
sir.
to
Nope.
she had to keep reshooting every time something fell in, and they were like, she was legit terrified,
Man,
and that
Don't
shit
blame
just
her.
kept
you got a
falling.
snake or a spider falling into your. I'm gonna scream like a little girl.
This
I
is
would,
like
yeah.
Amazonian creatures. This ain't like something we find in Tennessee down here. A snake in your
No.
backyard or a brown recluse. This is like a tarantula or an
It ain't no
anaconda.
garter
Swallow
snake.
me.
Exactly. Me too.
But yeah.
All 9 feet of me. As Dustin said.
I like though that they make it like it's like a leisurely drive, but the actual filming was hell. And I just think
Right.
that's hilarious.
But for sure, she just makes it look so easy, and she just looks good doing it as well.
She's a badass. She's got to make it look easy,
Mhm.
and that's my favorite thing about this. She's Indiana Jones, and
Yeah.
I don't,
And James Bond. She's like a mix of both
Yeah.
of those.
I was gonna
I
say
think
she's
you're right.
She's
Yeah.
way more Bond because Indiana Jones
Yeah.
was a teacher. You know, he was a professor. You know,
Yeah.
he is
And-
about
and
like
a bit of a buffoon at times. Yeah.
I mean, from times.
Yeah.
She's strictly about the adventure, and then people hire her because like whenever Hillary comes in and like has all the clipboards of all the next jobs to go do, you know, it just feels like here's this mission you get to go do, here's this mission that you can go do.
Right.
Very video game esque of
These
it.
are all
Bored with
side quests.
Egypt.
Give me
She's
a
like,
main
oh,
quest.
Egypt again.
Yeah, she's over
Sand
it.
gets in
Egypt
all the
again.
cracks.
Gets in all the
Yeah.
cracks. Yeah. And I completely forgot Daniel Craig plays an American. He's got the American accent.
Isn't that funny?
He did a good job, actually. I don't think it ever
I
slipped.
agree. I don't think so either.
No.
And then it's funny that Angelina is American playing
He's
British
doing the
lady.
British,
they-
yeah.
Isn't that
they
crazy?
flip-flop that.
Yep.
Daniel Craig is an actor's actor. That dude can do no wrong. I've seen him in 100 things, and
He's so good.
God, he's so good.
I've
He's
mainly just seen
he's
him as Bond. So
easy.
Yeah.
Oh, watch
He can
Knives
do
Out. if you haven't.
comedy.
I was about to say that, Pete.
Can
We
he?
need to cover
Okay.
that on here. Knives Out would be
Knives
fun.
Out.
Oh,
is-
no, that's right. I forgot. I have seen Knives
He-
Out. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
yeah.
and
great.
there's a sequel, and it's just as good as the
Okay.
original. I don't would Knives Out. It's a murder mystery. I don't know if that's an action.
Some
Yeah,
action.
yeah,
It's
Not like
it's
that.
towing the line. It's towing the line.
Yeah, it
You
really
can
is.
always pick it in February, Pete.
There you go,
There we
Pete.
Pete. No, it's not.
like
It's
it.
not weird enough.
You
I
see,
so want
he's
to share-
okay putting shit anywhere else throughout the rest of the year, but when I tell
Don't
him,
you
you know, you
touch
can
my
put it in
money.
February.
I got
He's like,
stuff to cover.
He's
I'm
already
not
He's got
making
a
his list.
dossier of movies already picked
do.
out for February.
Literally. No joke, Daniel. Yeah.
He's got 5 years of movies picked
He
out.
did.
Yep.
He is ready to
Hey,
go.
I got
on that.
movies till we die.
Yeah.
That is, man. So yeah, this movie definitely, like this one, definitely way more action than Indiana Jones, even because I know we've discussed like Indiana Jones and stuff like that, and we've always kind of been like, well, it's more adventure than action movie.
Agreed.
This one is there's freaking mercenaries dropping into her garage.
That is
She's
so
got like a
dope.
weapon locker in her house.
Mhm.
That bungee
Hey.
cord scene in her house is crazy.
And she did
Oh,
all
I
that
love
too.
that.
That was all
Is
her.
that all her?
All her, buddy. Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh,
She
all
actually
her.
injured her ankle going backwards and landing on the chandelier. And then they had to go back and
Oh.
reshoot some scenes like after it healed. But
Yeah.
she was down to do any and all stunts that she could do, felt comfortable enough doing.
Right.
kind of thing.
Seriously,
Hell
would
yeah,
you
props to
not
her
be
for that
down
because I couldn't
to
tell.
do a bungee stunt thing? Like, yes, put me on that rig. I want to bounce all over the damn place.
Hell
It's just
yeah.
So it's like I understand why they did it. It is very random as hell that it shows up in this movie, but it shows off how she jumps in the video game. She's very like gymnastic,
It's
you know, or,
training.
they do reenact her dive into the water when she jumps in
the waterfall.
later. It's the same way she would dive into the water in the video games.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, all right.
On one hand, I'm like, well, I get why you're doing it. On the other hand, I'm like, when she's running circles around a guy trying to shoot her, I'm just like, this is so wild and insane, but okay, fine, whatever. I'm here for it.
Well, in Tomb Raider 3, there was actually an option because, you didn't have to always go on the mission. You could hang out in her mansion and like do stuff
Yeah.
around there. There
Oh,
was an
yeah?
option on Tomb Raider 3. I remembered there was an obstacle course in the backyard that you could actually, it was timed. And I think if you got under a certain amount of time, you unlocked a secret. But I vividly remember doing that. So maybe the bungee scene is kind of like a play on
It
that.
could be.
Like her way of training and showing how agile and quick she is and how easy it is to show those boys up that come busting through. But I love when they do come busting through the ceiling, like, and she knows something's up, but when they come through, that look on her face looks like genuine, like, oh shit, like very
Yeah.
believable.
But
And
then that one dude drops right in her face.
She's
She's
like,
like, hi.
I love it. Love it. That whole
she thinks-
sequence.
oh shit, okay, it's real now. Like it
Mhm.
just got real.
Shit's going
Like,
down.
she's
Yeah.
not panicking. She's just like,
Oh.
all right, shit's real now. Let's
And
go."
my favorite thing is Hillary getting ready by grabbing the shotgun, putting his
Best.
slippers
The
on,
body armor.
the
Yeah.
body
DJs.
armor. He is the most prepared out of everyone.
He's ready.
Because the other guy basically just gets stuck in his trailer. They
lock
put
him
a
in.
they put a
trap him in.
crowbar
Yeah.
across there. Now he's stuck.
We have-
And then Simon,
83 rooms in the house. Why don't you?
I like
Yeah.
that. I kind of like that.
That
But
reminded me of Day of the Dead. Like he's got his own little trailer out
Oh,
there
good
and his little
point, Daniel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
and all that stuff like that.
I thought of
doesn't
Dewey
want to.
doing
Yeah.
Scream
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Living in a house with a hot chick, who really wants to do
No,
that?
we'll live with my
I mean,
little
no
mini
choice with
robots
that
that
high
crawl
chick.
around everywhere.
Yeah. He
I would
comes in
make a bunch
clutch
of
later,
those.
though.
I was
Yeah.
really
Yes.
hoping Simon was gonna reboot during
Yeah.
that entire segment
That would have
'Cause
been
he-
cool.
because he's trying, but she fucked
Laura
it up.
Fucked Simon up too bad.
Yeah.
It's a little sad, but
And then she destroys her cars, shooting the. That's not how
Oh.
that,
I love that
air,
scene.
air gun chisel works. That's not how it works.
It's
Doesn't
like
do
a
that.
screwdriver and just doom.
Yeah.
don't worry
That-
about it. It's fine.
Trust me, if it did, we would do it in the garage, but it does not work like that. That was as bad as a nail gun not hooked up to air, and they're shooting it. It's that no.
Yeah, that was her lethal weapon moment.
That
Yeah.
really was.
Yes. And then she's like, "Oh, I found my car keys."
Mhm. Yeah,
Turning
and
all
she
the
just
alarms off.
she just happens to be like by the phone that Bryce can connect to her. Laura, you there? And she puts it on, and he, you got to be my eyes. I even though it's like so just kind of and then a little bit.
It's outlandish, but
it works.
it's video game. It's
Exactly.
like you could be. Imagine being on a mission. You're in your own thing, getting ready to go. Boom! Bad guys show up. The music turns. Like health shows up in the corner. You're like, why
Yeah.
is there so much health? Why is there an
shit's
extra
about to
gun?
go down. Yeah,
Something's
ammo.
about. Why is there a save point?
Mhm.
That's why something's getting ready to go down.
Good point,
Get
Charlie.
ready. But
That's funny.
so there's a part of me, like, I had a ball watching this again. There's this movie is, I've never not liked it. This was one that I watched quite a bit. Whenever it was on DVD, and just I need something fun with a little bit of adventure, and I get to look at Angelina Jolie. Let's put in Tomb Raider.
Bingo.
Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I have zero like actual bitches. I like to point out the silliness of certain things.
Right.
We're going to take this clock apart, screw 5 into quadrant 4. I'm like, I would have broke it 10 minutes ago before Angelina did. Like, I wouldn't have been like, maybe we should save the clock. No, there's something in here. Break it. Break it open now.
Yeah, Hillary just looking at him, Bryce, like, this is how I do it. It's how I remember.
It's
Right.
my map.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong in that moment. Like, he's thinking smart. Like, I see where he's coming from. But yeah, it's one of those imperative moments. Like, what if this thing is a bomb of some sort and it's ticking down?
Yeah.
We need to get in there and see if we can.
We've only
defuse
got
it.
7 days because Dad didn't set the alarm earlier for let me know. Also, why did Dad, if you had the most important key to find the shit that would destroy the world, destroy it. Get rid of it. Don't hide it under the stairs next to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Just,
Why did you not? Yeah.
Stop it.
Exactly.
why do you work for the Illuminati, John Voight? Come on, sir.
Yeah.
Come on. Well, you know what? I think
Mention
that's.
No,
Go
I'm sorry,
ahead,
go
Daniel. No, go ahead.
No, the
Daniel.
Illuminati, is that in the games at all, or is that just for the movie?
I don't remember it in the games. But that doesn't
It's
mean
been
it
so
isn't.
long.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's just for the movie.
Okay.
okay.
And
Could have
speaking
been.
of that, I love that scene when they meet up toward the tail end of the movie, and she's talking to him, and she's like, "Who sits here?"
Oh
I
my
love
god!
And he keeps
that.
he keeps
And then
avoiding
she-
that.
And she sits there.
And you see
a
that look on her face, like she
badass.
knows you don't sit here, do you?
Uh-huh. I love
sit
that.
Oh, it's
here
so good.
at the right hand of God.
Where your
Yeah,
father
it's like,
used to
shut
sit.
the fuck
All
up,
suave
asshole.
and shit. But I love that scene too because she's just
Still
showing
number
him that her
2.
dick's just as big. She's
Yeah.
like,
Uh-huh.
I don't think you sit in this chair because he's trying to explain like the stakes and how
Yeah.
important everything is, and
But
she's
do
just
you
like,
sit here?
Trying to
yeah,
say, hey, come work with me. Come
No,
work
no,
with
no,
me.
no.
yeah.
You're
Are
not-
you as
you're
important
answering
as
my
I am?
question.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a good place for a save point, if you will. Charlie, do you want to take us to commercial break?
Oh!
I think she's been waiting
You
on that.
want a war? Well, you got it right after this.
Are you looking for a movie podcast with deep dives, interviews, and thoughtful film analysis?
We ain't got none of that. What do we got?
You want to hold the bucket?
Right? I'll hold the bucket, sit in the
I'll
cuff
just stand
chair.
there with my. I will never blink. I'll just be there holding the bucket.
I will
like,
never blink on her drapes, most likely. You look like a drape jizzer. R.I.P. That sweet, sweet pussy. It is known that Jessica Tandy had the sweetest pussy in Hollywood.
If you don't know, Google it. Don't Google Jessica Tandy's pussy, you guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. Doom Generation.
Available anywhere you find podcasts.
All right, Paul. So I think it's time we, made a trailer.
Do we have to?
Like, if people keep asking, so we're gonna deliver.
Well, what are we supposed to do in this damn trailer?
We're just gonna talk about shit we do here. We theme our months, right? Like, what do we?
I mean, I know we've done stuff like musicals and animation month and creature features, all sorts of stuff, but is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's something kind of like that. That I'm probably gonna sit there and tell people, we're on all social medias. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's all under Flicks and Friends podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. If they're not tired of hearing that by now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that'll work. Should we press record?
Yeah, let's press record right now.
I didn't come here to talk. Lucky for you, they did.
So in this movie, she does go to quite a bit of different places. Like we get some scene changes, if you will, different level progressions in a video game. Out of all the places in this that she goes, what are y'all's favorite? Charlie, what's your favorite place?
I think my favorite is the stone temple, wherever. I don't even remember exactly where they are. It kind of feels like South America a little bit, where old dude's sitting on the couch outside while all the village people are yanking on a wall, and she finds the super secret passageway to get into the tomb without having to do all that bullshit. But I was like, the back door, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is kind of like the one that felt the most like the video games, where she would drop down into the tomb, walk along the ledge. You had the light so she could see in the corners. And, they finally work their way in through the main door. So she's still hiding and she's doing the puzzle. She figures out there's 2 spots to put the key. And, she does the bargain with again, down to like the last 10 seconds. We got to decide.
Literally counting down.
Daniel Craig figures out the sword puzzle. It's like, what are you going to, like, you're the Tomb Raider. Tell me what the answer is. He goes, motherfucker, I got here the same time you did. I don't know what to see. I didn't get my game power this week. So I don't know what the walkthrough is. So, just give me a second, but taking all of the swords and sticking them in the lock and then, being able to do all that. And then she gets the thing, and it does like a good old ancient traps. They probably worked really good when they were thinking about it. Some dude back in the day is like, we can make that thing swing and hit the big pot of liquid water. It's probably going to be green when they find it, because a lot of algae is going to grow in it. But right now it's blue. So if we make it swing and hit that, well, how do we test it? We don't. We're just gonna let this happen, and they'll figure it out. Okay. Well, also Charlie brain logic going, excavator. I'm digging into the bottom and I'm getting the triangle piece. Like everything that gets buried can be unburied. Everything that is hidden in a stone can be blown up.
Mhm.
Charlie will get it out if I miss the window.
Yep.
We're 5 minutes late. Get the bulldozer. I got it. Bulldozer, dynamite. I'm in. We're going. Forget the bullshit. I'm out.
But it
I
had
do
to
like
happen when the planets
Yes.
aligned.
well,
Yeah,
the
her
first
father said so.
phase.
The first
I
phase,
did.
yeah.
I always like though that whenever that thing doesn't quite hit the jar, she jumps
Yeah.
on it to add that momentum
She
to it.
does
It's
the
Like a
swing.
badass. Yep.
Yeah.
It-
Kyle's
it's-
like, oh, it must pierce the jug.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And first time I watched it, you're just like, okay, this is kind of cool. Okay, they got it. But then everything comes to life.
Mhm.
And you kind of expect them the stone gargoyle and the soldiers. But when that fucking 6-arm motherfucker with 3 heads
Yeah.
woke up,
Yeah.
hell, that was shocking. Like that was like I was not expecting this boss level. This is not exactly what I was hoping that save point was for.
Yeah.
Uh,
Big boss.
And I love when the big 6-arm wakes up. I didn't notice it on the first watch, but on my second watch, she gingerly takes the pot, sets it to the side.
Yeah.
Then she starts attacking Laura.
Uh-huh.
Well, you got to sit back down and reset it for in case you got to go back through the
She's
save
like, I'm not.
point.
She's like, I'm not breaking this bitch. She's like, I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
it down.
But it was another moment too of in video games. I am the run and gunner. If I can't solve it with bullets, I don't want to play. Well, she shoots this thing in the face, like empties 2 clips, and realizes that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So she has to trick it like a video game logic. Okay,
Mhm.
you're not going to be able to shoot this thing, but if you jump here, pull this lever, and lead it out into this area, it will fall down a hole and you will win
You're
the
good
level.
to go. Yeah. A spiked
Yeah.
hit. Those were notorious in Tomb Raider.
Exactly. So it was always these little hidden things that you had
Mm-hmm.
to learn after you died and you died and you died.
Trial and error. Yeah. Yeah. Trial and
And I
error.
like when she gets carried out by the gargoyle and she drops on the ground and there's Pal and everybody just still sitting on the couch. They just look up and start drawing guns on her.
Like, and then, pew.
It's like, were they expecting her to make it out? I guess
That's
don't
my,
know.
like he's sitting on the couch
Yeah.
and you're just like, motherfucker, y'all were just chased too. Like a lot of people just died and y'all are outside having fucking tea or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Having
what is
grapes
going
fed
on?
to you by the village people. Like a tool. Daniel, what about you? What's your favorite little area or level in this movie, I should say?
I'll go with Charlie on that one. I did enjoy the tomb there because I just the whole with the animation of the stone creatures and then everything like all that. I thought it was the best. I did like the one when they were in the Arctic or Russia or wherever they were at. I like that one
Uh-huh.
too, but I think the first one was definitely more appealing to me.
Yeah.
More action, I think it was a little bit. I was disappointed though, and I've never seen the second movie. I wanted more Daniel Craig to do a little bit more stuff in this movie. I felt
But
like
it wasn't his movie.
no, I know.
I
Yeah,
get what
but
you're
I just
saying, but yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I get it, but he's also for the most of the movie, he's the bad guy.
True.
Or he's teamed up with the bad
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
So and he is not the star he is now. Like
No.
I remember watching this going, that guy's kind of cool. No idea who Daniel Craig was the first time I
Yeah,
watched this movie.
right.
It was later, and then you
2001,
watch
yeah,
this
you're
again, going, "What the fuck is Daniel Craig doing in this movie?"
Yeah, exactly.
I
That
had-
was me.
Yeah, I totally forgot he was in this movie. Like
Yeah,
that
you both-
part had just completely left my brain, and then I
I completely
realized,
forgot John Voight was even in here.
yeah, this is I think the
Oh, no,
only
I
time
remember
they've
that,
ever
'cause
been
it
on
was a
screen.
big thing that I thought they were estranged, and they came back with this movie.
They've had ins and outs like throughout the
As
years.
you do with your parents sometimes.
Yeah,
I think I read somewhere that at this time, this is how they kind of got back together for a little while.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
this movie?
hmm
And then later on,
That was
I
my
think they got
impression.
estranged again, I believe, or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I did love in the other one in the Arctic when she goes up and rings the bell, boom, and it causes like the wall just to crash. She's got that grin. I love her facial expressions. She's
Mhm.
never lacking in confidence in this movie whatsoever.
Yeah.
She never questions
Oh,
herself.
Yeah,
or
that's
nothing.
right. Yeah.
for sure.
She's
And even,
always confident everything she does.
yeah, but those little sound effects, like even in the game, whenever she finds something, the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sound, it's
Jody
all
said
the
that all the
same.
time. She was like,
Okay.
that's from the game. When she goes, huh, or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like she not only embodies the action and the badass of Laura Croft, but even her little mannerisms and the things she does, like I just feel like she totally embodies this character. And I don't that's why I haven't watched I just have had no desire to watch the new one. Even if it is a little earlier per se. I'm just like, can they really do it better than Angelina?
I don't think they did, but it doesn't it's not a waste of time.
Right.
How about
You got, I always treated it like it was that movie was like the newer generation video game versions.
That's fair.
So
And
because she looks just like some of
the
the
new
last,
actress has the look.
Yeah, Alicia Vikander. Yeah, she does have the look. Yeah.
And the opening scene, she's in a boxing ring and she's got this 6-pack that was like, holy shit.
Like what? Yeah.
What? Wow, that woman does all the sit-ups
I
or
want
crunches. or
Tomb
something.
Raider to kick my ass.
It's
That's
oh,
what I
of
want.
course you do. Of course you want her to kick your ass.
No, you're talking like Brigitte Wilson, and she's like kill you with your thighs. It's like,
It was Famke Janssen, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, from GoldenEye. Yeah.
GoldenEye.
I was thinking more X-Men. She was badass in that too.
X-Men.
Well, yeah.
I was the reference was
Rising.
GoldenEye.
Oh well, I know. I missed that. I honestly don't know if I've seen GoldenEye. If I'm being honest.
Oh,
Probably my favorite Pierce Brosnan Bond movie.
Pierce Brosnan, I think, is my Bond. Anyway, we can talk about that later.
Yeah,
I know it's
So we're talking about Tomb Raider. So what's Pete's favorite location in this movie?
All right, so my favorite location, like where
Not
they
the
are.
shower. Not the shower.
Nope. Skipping
All she
past
needed
that.
was a beer, and she'd be set, right?
I think it was in Cambodia when she was paddling a canoe or whatever.
Yeah, with the
and-
monks.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
a good part too.
That scene was beautiful. I thought the people were beautiful. I thought, and it's probably not as beautiful as the film led it to believe, but I thought that was like a mystical, beautiful sort of place. But the one I really thought was fun, like this embodies a video game, is the last as they're jumping up and around this globe that's spinning with the parts and
the time room, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And the arms are knocking off soldiers left and right, and people are getting crushed in between the pieces that are flying past each other. And then she and Daniel Craig are leaping from place to place, barely missing and getting up. That felt like a video game to me. Like
For sure.
That felt like a I don't. I felt like a Dragon's Lair. Like, okay, choose
Platformer type thing,
left
yeah.
or right, and if you chose left, you're dead.
You fall all the way
chose
back down to the
right.
bottom, and you have to start over again.
You
Well,
chose
yeah.
right, you live for one more second. Now pick up or down. Up. Nope, you're dead.
It's
Yeah.
timing your jumps. It's doing
Yeah.
all this.
That
Charlie
that-
watching it going, all the arms are connected in the middle. If you just run down one of the arms to the middle,
right.
you're
This
there.
is- this is why-
Anna just got so
why-
upset with me. It's like,
Don't-
stop it.
Charlie. People.
That was
It's-
me
it's
climbing
not-
up the middle, real quick, like.
that was so much fun to watch that happen, and that
Cool set too.
oh, it was beautiful.
yeah.
That was
And
all
all
practical.
of it was real.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know how big that jungle gym was for adults, right? And
Yeah.
I want to jump on that.
Yeah, that's a jungle gym for sure. And
That's
and
what and
there were some moments in the game too where she did go to cold places. So I do love that we get like the part in the Arctic, and she brings Bryce in. She calls him once she floats downstream from this waterfall into Cambodia, and she's like, "You need to pack your bags. You're coming." And he's like, "Oh, but no
But where?
questions.
Where?
Yes, no questions asked. Just get on a plane, and you're coming here." I do love that she brought him along, and they're trying to buy the Huskies to pull him along, and he's like, "We want all doggies,
doggies.
all doggies."
American greenbacks, which they were in Russia. Why wouldn't they do ruples? I don't know.
I don't know, but that whole
See,
scene's
'cause he
really
had
cool.
American money. That's what it
2001 was. How do you spend American money in Russia? I go to a bank.
Probably.
Yeah.
I bet you'd
Where
still do it
security
now.
guard bank in the middle of the Siberian tundra?
But I will always remember the dog part the first time I watched this, because he buys the dogs and then immediately the troop transports that are also boats roll in, and I'm like,
They're
did he just
amphibious,
waste his
yeah.
fucking money? Like, they roll these things in.
No, that
and-
was the opposers. That was the other guys, right?
well, no, they're all on one team now.
Yeah,
so
they
they're
come
all
together.
on one team.
All right.
And I'm watching this movie the first time, and I'm like, well, he just wasted a bunch of money on dogs. That was funny. And then
No.
they're back on the dogs again,
No,
and I'm
yeah.
like,
Nope.
I'm
You always,
so-
doggies are worth their money.
Cool action shots of them riding through the snow, and she looks
Well,
super
yeah.
cool. I think she's like
Well,
one arm in it.
they
Yeah.
kind of explain it, because they make it out to be a no fly zone, no electronics, no
The dead
anything
zone.
can work
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
So my guess is the vehicles could only get so close.
Oh, exactly.
Then the dogs come
Yeah.
into play. But it's just how it plays out, where he buys the dogs. It'd be like Indiana Jones buying the camels, and then somebody gets a tank, and now they get to ride in a tank. And he's like, but I have to get the horse. I think that happens in Last Crusade. It's like, I have to buy the horses for my brother. I owe my brother money for the camels. But it's just Charlie Logic trying to put it in on this movie. Like, why are you doing that? Just take that. That's where the bad thing happens. Nuclear explosion. Blow it up. Blow it up. Gravity will take care of the rest. Don't worry about guidance. Just
Yeah.
get close, drop it. World is saved. That's all. It's
But
logic, man.
she
Yeah,
wanted
go
to
logic.
she wanted to have that moment with her dad too, and I do love whenever, and it's almost like a video game too at that point. Whenever they're kind of, I don't know, in between in the time or whatever, like when the triangle comes together and they put the sand in and they're running up this pyramid to catch it first, like that feels very
Yeah.
video game like. And I also feel like she caught it before he did, because she was worthy in a way, like kind of like Thor, like he wasn't worthy to have this kind of power, like someone who, if they did choose to use it, would use it for good and not for
It also
bad.
makes you think like he dies like a bitch all of a sudden, because when he falls by not touching it, you're like, is he gone? Like,
Yeah.
did we win?
Yeah.
But
What-
no,
what
it
happened?
goes, but it keeps going, which I like a good, villain backstory. That Daniel Craig getting stabbed was pretty cool. I
Yeah.
did like that one. I don't like that she turns the knife around and cuts her own fucking hand.
That
doing
was
it.
dope though.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, she's going for it. She will do anything. That kind of thing.
She's fighting the blade. She's like, come
I
on.
got
Yeah.
it. Like that.
Literally
go find-
fighting time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go find a stick and just bend it around. Why you gotta use your hand? Now your hand's all cut.
She's
Are you
running out
gonna
of
go
time.
back in time again
Badass,
and be like,
though.
you're waiting for another Tomb Raider to show up? Go, hey, don't use your hand on the blade. You're like, no, don't you? No, we're stopping this. I brought a stick.
What
Put
the
the stick on
Quicksilver
it.
would do in the Marvel movies.
That's
Yeah.
what I would do in any movie. It's like,
Very
just
true.
use a little logic here.
Yeah.
A little logic. I'm low on health. There's
Yeah.
no health packs
There's
on this
no
level.
med packs anywhere. We
I'm out of
gotta
health
get through
packs.
this level and get to a save point.
I hit
Might
the
have
save
dropped the med
point.
pack, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit the save point, but I forgot to get the medical pack. So now I'm stuck in this endless cycle of never
shit.
having enough
That's
life.
the worst.
The worst. The worst. But she does get that moment with her dad, and her dad's like, no, we can't do this. And she does find out too that the dad was part of the Illuminati, and he kind of ended up getting fucked, like the Illuminati does. that tracks with them, and he ends up actually getting murdered by Pal. And I do love that moment at the end where they're like, no weapons, like they just have a good old fist on fist fight, like, and she
Yeah.
fights like a man, like she puts up just as good of a fight as a man would. And that was cool to see too, like especially being 11, like seeing a man punch a woman, that was kind of more taboo, in the early 2000s kind of thing.
Yep.
So I was like, shit, like she's getting her ass kicked, but she's kicking his ass too. So all for it.
In America, it certainly was, and
For sure. Very
in China,
American.
those kung fu movies were going on forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Dudes would hit chicks and chicks would hit
But look,
dudes.
man, equal rights, equal lefts. That's all.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But for 11-year-old Anna, at that point, I had not seen a
Yeah.
lot of that in movies.
Sure.
So
Oh, yeah.
to see her coming back with punches just as equally as hard and knocking his ass out to the point where she does win, and there's one doggy left over, and she's just like, I like so much joy. She's happy, like she's getting through the level. She beat the boss, getting to the save point. It's
Yeah.
clear,
Yeah.
So
That's that last, like you beat the boss, but yet there's that one last little thing you have to do. And that's like what Pete's saying, push left. Now push right.
Yeah, you
Now
got to get
push
through the
left.
cave.
Now push right. You got to get through. It's like the end of Halo where you're on the Warthog and you're running off of the ship and you got to, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
How many times I ran off that damn cliff?
We all did. We all did.
You're steering from the rear. I'm just like, no.
If you're in 2-player mode and your bro can't drive right and you're manning the gun and you're yelling at him the whole time, no. That's...
I was a driver. My brother was a gunner, and he would complain. I'm like, "Do you want to switch?" I was like,
switch.
We can switch, man.
This ain't Gran Turismo. This is Halo. Okay, it's not that responsive, but that's exactly how this ending always felt to me. Yeah, she's having a ball. This is her adventure time. She won. She would have won if she just destroyed the clock earlier, but it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
Went through a lot of this. Totally fine. And then we get to see her in a dress.
It cuts really quick too. Like it's like, okay, we hit our save point. Now the next menu's loading. We're going to the next scene. But we didn't need anything else. Like we knew she won. She had that fun moment getting through the caves, and then we're back at the mansion. And the fact that, we started this movie with her saying, yes, a lady should be modest because Hillary's trying to get her to be a lady. And then she's kind of honoring her father at the end of the movie, and she's in a dress, and he drops the tray. Like he is so great in this. He's different from the video game because the video game, he's definitely an older man.
Yeah,
he's like an elderly man. But I mean, he is so perfect, like in this movie. And he goes, "Oh my God." Like he's just shocked. And then she walks back in, they're looking at her funny. She's like, What is it? They took a picture one of her in the dress, which I thought was funny. But then the robot's up and running and ready to kick ass, and Hillary's got her guns on the platter. And then that where's your head at? The typical like closeout of a summer, summer blockbuster kind of movie, and that's the Tomb Raider.
I'm going to mention a moment in the movie a little bit earlier when the UPS man shows up.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
After everything is destroyed, he's looking, and she signed. She's like, "I just woke up this morning and I hated everything."
Yeah, I love that.
That scene was coming up, and I had to go. I had to go to the bedroom real quick, and I was coming back out, and I just let it play. And it was already gone, but I went around the corner and looked at Jackie and went, "I just woke up this morning and hated everything." Just so she knew, I still knew every line.
Every line. Didn't miss nothing.
But to this day, I still say, Hillary's seen some shit. Okay, Hillary,
no doubt.
Hillary's seen some stuff.
I went on some of her adventures with her.
I would think so.
Well, there's that too. But in that house, he's seen some stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into the things.
Yeah.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies.
Just bodies.
Body count.
So that's what she did.
Body count. Body count.
She didn't kill anybody, did she?
Actually, no. I don't think she does ever kill anyone. I think I read that.
She does.
Does she?
She doesn't. She doesn't kill anyone with her guns, but she does kill people in the movie.
Okay. Well, what's the total for the movie?
Well, the total deaths for the movie is 23. 23 people die in the movie. But she, they make a point to say that because I guess they were trying to toe that line of, she can't shoot someone, even though that's exactly what she did in the game. Yeah. But she does knock a guy out with a gun in the garage scene.
Yeah.
But she actually does kill people in this movie and is all as a hand in killing people, as it goes through.
Yeah.
But we can pick our favorite one. So let's do that.
Have you ever killed anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad.
Pete, what's your favorite one?
Oh, shit.
Every time. Every time.
it was the final boss, the
Pal.
smarmy dude. Yeah.
His first name's Manfred. Like, what a name.
Reversing that knife and letting it fly into his chest. That's
gangster.
That's damn near sexy. That's gangsta is what that is. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was so satisfying with all the smarmy bullshit that he brought to the table through the entire movie. Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Hell yeah. Daniel, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'll go with what Charlie said. The guys in the garage, did she kill them or did just knock them out?
No, someone died. One dude fell directly off like 2 stories.
I thought so.
out of the road. Yeah.
I thought so. Okay, so yeah, that would be mine. I thought because even though it's not the way it works, I thought that was just cool and ingenious how she did that with the, with that. Like, so yeah, that'd be mine. The garage scene. I like that one.
Very nice. Charlie?
Well, it's in the temple when the stone dudes come to life, and that one pulls out like a spear and hucks it at Manfred, and Manfred grabs a nameless henchman and pulls him in front of him, and it goes right through him. Honorable mention though is in the time temple when it's spinning around, one dude gets cut in half.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about
Shit,
that.
yeah.
And in an R-rated movie, it'd have been a lot more graphic, but you do get to see, like, he's screaming. He's PG-13.
Yeah,
It's clear what happened to him. It just wasn't gratuitous.
It wasn't
I got the
gratuitous,
point across.
But the full-on Manfred grabs dude, and that freaking spear goes poof, right in that guy's chest, and then Manfred throws the body down. I'm like, that's cold shit right there, man. I like this.
That's villain shit. That's some villain shit.
right there. What about you, Anna? Which one are you picking?
I'm going with Pete with Pal. Like I feel like that's such a satisfying conclusion to him at the end of this movie. And in a way, like we said, he's the final boss. So it's kind of that sigh of relief. Like when you finish a game, you're like, oh, hell yeah, I finally beat it. But man, it's over now. And I kind of feel that way at the end of this movie.
Yeah, because there's only one Tomb Raider movie at the end.
Yeah, facts. I'll agree with you with that.
All right, let's rate this thing.
Daniel, our esteemed guest, we will begin with you. Out of 10, what do you rate Lara Croft Tomb Raider?
10 Allions. 10
Allions. I would have to give it 10.
I would have to give it a 10.
Yeah,
wow. Daniel.
I will. Yeah. I didn't know when you first told me this was the movie we were going to cover. I'm like, okay, I don't remember it very well. I'm like, okay, I'll go check it out. I love it.
Had fun with it.
I do enjoy it. So definitely a 10 for me.
That's awesome.
It never stopped. It's like it was always steady. There was never really a slow spot whatsoever in the movie.
That's a good point.
Only like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
like 40.
Such a good pace.
Yeah. There was never a lull in it. Like, sometimes you have action and slow down. No, this one was really steady and kept my attention the whole time. So definitely 10 for sure.
And in the slower moments too, the conversation was enough to keep your attention. Like it wasn't dull.
Like when she's talking to the monk and he's giving her tea, it's like, I guess it's supposed to have healed her wounds or something. That was really cool. I like that. I wish they elaborated more on that. I thought that was really cool.
Hell yeah.
Well, those are your cut scenes. Like when there's talking, it's the cut scenes. It has to tell you what's going on. And
good point, Charlie. Good point.
Exactly.
I dig it.
This makes me happy. This is some stuff I'd never even realized. Y'all have made some good points about. Charlie, out of 10, what do you give it?
Out of 10, I do have pretty good nostalgia for this movie. Not only the game, but I've always enjoyed it. Yeah, I can sit here and poke holes in it and have fun still. And I think I'm gonna, in a fair world, it's definitely a solid 8. Like it's a lot of fun. I would recommend someone that if they've never seen it, definitely start here and then check out the other remake, not Cradle of Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
stop it tonight.
I might have to check that one out now. It's on Paramount Plus too.
Remember.
Mm-hmm. It started playing today after this one finished.
Oh,
Of course it did.
You go, no Cradle of Life. You get back in the corner. No. But yeah, I think I'm going to give this a solid 8. It's a definitely high recommend. It was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
And when you picked it for this month, I was like, yeah, That makes sense.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that makes me happy. Makes me happy. Pete, what about you?
Like for a video game movie, this is a 10. But for a movie,
But
it's an 8.5. Like,
okay.
this is a
Still good.
solid. Please watch this movie. It's a
It's
lot of
fun.
fun. It's very silly. It knows what it's doing. But for a video game movie, how many have we had that are actually great? This is one of them.
Few and far between, yeah.
Eight and a solid 8.5. Go watch it. Strong recommendation.
Yay. Well,
Anna, you brought this thing, yeah.
I
So
did.
How doth thee rate this? I don't do English. I don't know what that was.
You're doing Shakespeare instead.
Boy, what are you going to write this
Boy,
thing?
what's the job?
What's the rating?
What's the rating?
Bride.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with a very strong 10. 10 out of 10. Just on the fun scale, on the nostalgia scale, this is probably the one this month that is the most nostalgic for me. It just brings back so many childhood memories. Like I brought it up to Dad, and he was like, "Yeah, we went to the big mall in Chattanooga, and like when we went to Chattanooga, like that was like an epic like day, you know what I mean?"
yeah?
And it usually involved a movie that was connected to the mall, and then we'd shop, eat in the food court. Charlie, we talked about that recently, like seeing Chick-fil-A for the first time.
Aw.
Like that was
Yeah.
during those memories too. So it's just fun. And like Pete said, as far as a video game is concerned, playing the games and growing up with them and then seeing this and still being able to pick out all the little Easter eggs and even the things, like I said, that you guys have pointed out that I didn't even think of. It's just a treat. And the conversation we had tonight made it even better. So yeah, it's a 10 all day long.
I read
10 to
something
10.
that they said it was like the second highest grossing video game adaptation.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that.
Outside of Mario Brothers here
not
recently.
hard to do.
No,
That's
well,
not
The
hard to do.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's one of the
I
newer
know,
ones.
I know Parker hates Resident Evil, but I actually enjoy those movies for the craziness that they are.
I need to go back and
Let's
rewatch
let's just say the bar was not very high. Okay, that's what it was. Like
At
I
that
love Street
time, it
Fighter.
wasn't.
I love
Yeah.
Street Fighter,
Yeah.
but the bar was not very high.
Yeah, because
Like,
before this, it was what the two Mortal Kombats and Street Fighter, I think.
two Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Double Dragon, Super Mario Brothers.
Double Dragon, yeah.
I played that game. Oh, the game, yeah.
Yeah, this one predates like Alone in the Dark and obviously House of the Dead and the Resident Evil franchises as they took off from there. And I'm sure there's probably an obscure one I'm not thinking about right now that somehow got a weird ass release or something. But yeah, the big ones everyone remembers were those. And Mortal Kombat probably is and was the most successful one up into Tomb Raider. I don't know how it compares as far as, maybe box office Tomb Raider did better, but as far as beloved video game movie, Mortal Kombat will forever be untouchable, whenever it comes to that. That's a that fan base is how do you say fervorous or however that word is,
fervorous,
disjointed from reality.
Well, a little bit of that too. I mean, finish him.
Finish him.
All right. Well, I was not going to do this, but I just scrolled through.
No.
All over the ring. And then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can.
I hate you, Charlie.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
Look, I was seriously considering not doing this, and I was literally just scrolling just to see if anything caught my eye. And I have to. I absolutely have to. This is by Vilolyn, Vilolyn.
We can't even pronounce
I already
his
don't
name.
like it.
Or her name. I don't care.
June 16th, 2001.
So the next day.
All right.
Got out of the movie.
Right.
This 1 out of 10. The title of their review is called Boob Raider. When
See,
movies
that's
get
gross.
made from
Panty
other
Raider is so
forms
much
of
better.
media A clear goal should be established. Make a film that will appeal to both fans of the original source and that will not completely alienate new viewers. This has been done with some consistency in the past. Tomb Raider does not fall in this category. If I took the time to list all the things that were wrong with the movie in relation to the video game, I'd be sitting here for 3 days. So I will try to summarize what was accurate. Her name was Lara Croft. She did some tomb raiding. She was British. That about covers it.
Oh, fuck off.
The plot was horrendous, boring, predictable, and generally pointless. These phrases could also be used to describe most of the characters and their acting. I'm not sure whether to blame them or the director on that note. Though I have seen most of the actors give far better performances, I kept thinking to myself, why didn't they use the plot from the first game? It would have translated well to the big screen. The action sequences were tolerable, I will give it that, though after a while they got a bit tiring, and I lost count as to how many times Laura defies the laws of physics. I guess that's a bit consistent with the game.
It's a video game!
Lastly, this movie pandered to the worst thing about the Tomb Raider franchise, Lara Croft's breasts. Yes, I know she's attractive. She has breasts that defy gravity and a few other physical constants, but please get over it. Oh, this was definitely written by a chick. If this is the most interesting part of the Tomb Raider saga, just turn the game into a lame porno flick and get on with your lives.
Ooh.
It's not worth wasting our time with
Does that
bad
exist?
writing and dialogue
Look it up,
just so Angelina Jolie can flash her breasts to the camera some 600 times in the span of 2 hours. To conclude, as a Tomb Raider fan, this movie made me ill, and I feel like I wasted $6 and a quarter of it. If you're $6 and a quarter on it. If you're interested in action, rent something with better acting or play the game. If you're interested in boobs, the adult section is usually in the back of the video store.
What?
I know where that is.
That was never their intention, though. That was never their intention to make an accurate adaptation of any of the games. They wanted to do their own story with these characters and their likeness as like a foundation. That's what makes them good. Like that's what Fallout is doing now. And look at how good of a series Fallout is. That's making the list now, best video game adaptations, and they're not necessarily following an exact plot point from the games. It's just this open wasteland like the game, so. And Lara Croft was probably one of the first, I can't speak on that for certain, but was probably one of the first games, movie adaptations to do that. So more power to them. And we see that more now, obviously, but back then it obviously pissed that chick off.
Does the person even know what the word adaptation means? I mean, it's not going to be frame per frame exactly like the game. It's going to be a little different.
Exactly.
It was very well written.
It was, honestly.
This wasn't this movie sucks.
No.
Which is a lot of what we hear. So this reviewer had a lot of good
put a review
points,
out. Yeah.
But I don't understand that if this reviewer, as they said, was a fan of Tomb Raider, had problems with physics.
I don't know. I saw boobs in the title.
Game.
And believe me, if I had seen this next one come up before it, I would have read this one. But I'm not going to read it, but I'll read you the title. Y'all should go on IMDb once in a while and look at the reviews. Pete, if I'd have saw this one first, though, 1 out of 10 worst summer movie since Speed 2. That's the title of one of the next reviews.
Speed 2 was pretty bad.
So we'll leave it at that. So success again. It's fine. This bit will never die.
Which one did we do? We did Speed 2, right?
We did Speed 2. We did Speed here, and then we went on your show because you do bad movies. And we did Speed 2.
It was
and
bad.
Nate and I fucking loved that movie and had so much fun with it.
Oh, that was with
for Commando.
cruise ship or something.
Right.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Pete, come here a second.
Yes,
I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're real close to the screen.
I'm here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Fucking beers for Commando.
Yes.
Pete, Pete, this is the perfect opportunity. Would you like to plug your show's new episode?
Would love to. We tell it real on my show.
I love when Charlie does the laid back.
Charlie's so angry. 4 Beers is I didn't hate your movie. Good beer, bad movie night. We just did Commando, and that's not my kind of movie. And I still gave it 4 beers, which means it wasn't terrible.
You were the highest one on the entire show.
I know, because it's
Kathleen
bad.
gave it less beer.
It's a bad movie.
Charlie.
You co-host a show called "Give Me Back My Action Movies." One of our drops is.
Yeah.
Leave anything.
He's
for
been
us?
waiting
Just
for 2 weeks to do this.
Hey Pete, what's that from?
I don't know. That's iced tea, right?
Oh,
The line. Did you leave anything for us? Just bodies.
Yeah.
From Commando.
Hey, I praised that. It's 4 beers. It was. I think I gave Spawn a worser review.
I have the action figure in my hand.
I don't care. I don't have that stuff. My nostalgia for those dumbass movies has no bearing on me. Your opinion does not sway mine. I'm done.
You're fired.
Go check out Good Beer Bad Movie Night. They reviewed Commando.
You're wrong because
don't go to their show now.
Anti-Common was way better than Commando. Way better.
Fuck off.
I liked Anti-Common.
I
It's not
know where
better.
you live.
Oh, so much better.
I know where you live, asshole.
You'll bring a shovel.
Yeah. Dig a hole.
I killed Nate. I'll kill you too. I don't give a shit.
You're too old to dig a hole.
Yeah.
Anna,
You
what's
need an
next week?
excavator.
Next week is my second horror pick. We have guests for next week too. My
Oh
brothers.
my God, I'm so excited.
My brothers, both the Dustins from the Baron's Hideout, will be joining us for a movie that Charlie also has not seen. Pete, have you seen it?
Oh, many times.
Okay,
He
good.
can't remember what we're doing.
Adore this movie. This is one of these movies that in recent time has made me go, wow. Like,
Yeah.
this is a wow movie.
There's a lot to talk about. It's going to be a fun one. It is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Dipping our toe back into the slasher water a little bit that I love so much. So very excited. I can't wait for Charlie to watch it and see what he thinks.
I say we rewatch Commando for reasons.
Well,
Yes.
Banger, what is it? Banger May is what Nate's calling it. Give the people what they want. All bangers. There you go. You think
All
Commando's
July, Commando, all of it,
just on repeat every week.
time. You gotta watch it. I'll fucking put toothpicks in your eyelids.
That's Clockwork Orange. That's not
Damn right.
Commando.
Daniel,
Do
would
it
you
to
like
you.
to would you like to tell our listeners where they can find your awesome podcast
Daniel,
and what you guys
please.
do?
Not on Good Beer Bad Movie Night. That's where you can't find it.
Yeah, I might have to stop posting stuff on the Facebook page. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you should.
You're running
No.
away, Pete.
Stay there.
No, yeah, we're the Geeks with Beard podcast. We cover comic books from all different eras. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We do have a Discord. It's free. And we just love comics. Me and my co-host Sean, we love comics, and we just we don't plan ahead of time. We kind of go week, recording by recording what we're going to cover next. Like as of right now, we just put out our Firestorm episode covering Firestorm number 3 from 1978, the first appearance of Killer Frost, and
Very
we
cool.
will be soon recording an episode covering the first full appearance of Wonder Woman, Sensation Comics number 1 from 1942.
Ooh, very nice.
I've never read that, so I'm really interested in that one.
So
Nice.
I've been going through your back catalog and I've been saving Gamera Guardian of the Universe. And
Yeah, I
think
like
I'm gonna.
those are good books.
think
I
I'm
reread them for
gonna
that
get to it
episode,
this
and I
week,
forgot how good they were.
and I've got some stories for you offline.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got Matt Frank did a comic that is a 4th edition or 4th comic in that trilogy. So, and
for sure. Yeah, we're always looking for great ideas. If anybody has any ideas or
okay.
suggestions, for sure. Well,
Yeah,
if we can
yeah.
get a hold of it, we'll definitely try to cover them. That's for sure. Yeah,
Open the suggestion box up.
definitely for
Pete
sure. Yeah.
just dropped one in.
Yeah.
You talk about giant monsters. I'm all down with it. One of these days, I'm going to get a giant monster movie on this show. So
Charlie keeps telling.
Oh, there's plenty of them. Godzilla, Gameras, all kinds.
I don't want to do it in February though. I got weird shit in February. And you know what? Most of these giant monster movies, most of these kaiju films aren't action. They're not horror. They're more sci-fi. So.
It was your month.
He lets you pick pretty much whatever.
I know, and I'm picking some great
Underwear
ones.
on
And everybody should
something's
go listen to the February movies. Year of Pete.
Year of Pete.
Oh
Year
man.
of Pete.
No, not happening. All right. Well, if you guys love this stuff as much as you act like you do whenever we see all these downloads, thank you everyone for all these downloads we're getting.
Yeah, no
Banger
kidding.
May was a banger May. Keep it coming. New people keep following the pages, so I will keep doing this. If you want to continue following all the chaos that we have on our shows, you can check us out over at Give Me Back My Action Movies, the Facebook group. Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the Facebook group. Good or Bad Movie Night, the Facebook group. You can also find us over on the Instagram under the same Give Me Back My Action. You can Give Me Back My Horror, 2 separate ones. You can also follow Anna at Nerd at the Movies on Instagram.
Yes!
She bridges all of the shows from Barons to the Give Me Backs to wherever.
One
you
big
know,
happy family.
Yep, nothing from Good Beer though. You're lucky to get a post every 6 months. It's totally fine.
I
if you get
tag.
an episode. Yeah,
I try to
he
invite
doesn't know
you.
what that means.
I try to invite you as collaborator, but I don't think you understand how that works. So I just
I
tag
don't.
you.
I
just tag
legit
you.
don't understand what that means.
It's okay. It's okay. I got you.
Pete yells at his phone when he gets a notification. Get off my lawn!
What is this?
He doesn't understand it. But yes, continue, share us out, give us all the ratings. You can rate us over on Spotify. Shout out to Dissect That Film. We are in their Discord. You need to be listening to that show. Ton of great shows in their Discord. Doom Generation, you heard their trailer today. Daniel is in that one. Anna is in there. It's chaos. I cause chaos over there a lot. Yep. we have a lot of fun, but you got all the B action guys are over there. So if you get a chance, please go check that out and find a lot more new shows. We are not a network, but we are a community.
Yes.
So we're
Community.
always
I like
trying to
that.
grow it.
Yeah.
I think a family.
Yeah, for sure.
With family.
I
Family.
agree.
Doing
Pete's the crazy uncle.
Yeah.
Drunk
Oh, real quick,
uncle.
I'm sorry, I forgot when I was plugging. Also, we have a YouTube channel, and on there we mostly do like 7 to 10 minute like little toy reviews
Hell yeah.
as well.
There we
So
go.
yeah, go on there and check that
Why
out.
have I not? Oh,
Not the
okay.
best quality, but that's we have fun doing them. We have fun covering them. So
That's what's
We'll
important.
have their Instagram and pages and everything tagged in whenever we drop this episode. I'm horrible about putting links in. I don't understand what that shit is. So
See,
Instagram.
Anna, I'm
You wanna-
not alone.
You want to find it? Stop it, old man. It's fine. So we will be back next week with something about Leslie and her mask. I'm not 100% sure
It's a
what it is.
him
It's a him. I don't know. It's,
with the Barons boys.
that Baron's got 2 Dustins coming, all that good stuff.
Lil
Double
D's,
D.
Lil D's first time over
Yeah.
on this
We got-
side of things.
We technically had 2 D's here. So DD and then DD again.
Double
Yeah.
D. Oh my gosh, that's their new duo nickname, Double D's.
Yeah.
This was
I love
fun.
Double D.
I'm glad I picked
love
this.
Single D. I love C's and B's.
You are a
I don't care for
connoisseur.
T's. T's are not cool. That's just like
You seatbelts in action movies.
yes.
What's wrong with you? Like that's
They
what
run
took you
right
out?
into a light pole and they're in a convertible with no seatbelts and they're like, oh, that was easy. No big deal. We didn't get ejected from the car.
Seatbelts.
Seat belts.
Oh, this is so
Seat
unbelievable because seatbelts. Arnold's a huge man. He rips out a seat and he barely sits down into the car. Ah!
at that, he didn't rip out the driver's side car or car seat. He sat down in that just fine, so he never had to rip out the passenger side car seat.
He was
begin with.
incognito. He was
Incognito.
hiding.
He was hiding from the bad.
Hiding. You let him go with his weak arm.
His weak arm.
Belt. Seat belt.
4 fucking beers, Pete.